Hi guys, it's Jamie, and today's project is going to be this little Q-tip holder. And I saw a product online. It was plastic, but I thought, oh, this would translate well for ceramic. So this is how I achieved it. First off, you're going to need a set of star cutters. Actually, you don't need the cutters themselves, you just need the shape. So I came up with a petal template based on the stars. So what I did is I just put the cutter down, I traced around it with a pencil, and then I modified it. So you just go from point to point and you push out a little bit. And now you have this really pretty star flower petal. So I did that with the 3 different sizes. And then the next thing you're going to do is make up your sphere. Now I'm not going to show you how to do this since I have 2 other videos. I have one on when I make pumpkins and then one for my shelter in place, creating an orb. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to create this and set it aside and then start on the petals. I've pre-rolled a slab here, and I rolled it 1/4 inch thick. I don't want it that thick for the petals, so I'm just going to start ironing it out a bit. And one of the things I've noticed is that I thought I wedged this clay really well, but I did not, looks like. So I'm going to poke the holes where I see bubbles. One thing I have not explored with this process yet is putting texture on here before making my flowers. So that's an option that you might want to consider. So I've decided I'm going to do that option. I'm going to texture my pieces, and so let me place them on here. Cut out my sections. And in this case, I'm going to do a double texture. I'm going to have a texture on the bottom and on the top. So I'm going to come back to you when I have all these pieces cut out for the next step. I'm back, and I've cut out all my little petals for my flower. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the sphere. I kind of brushed over it, but what you can do at home if you don't, you're probably not going to have this little mold that I made myself. You might want to just use a tennis ball, and what I did is I took 2 halves. I just did my largest circle cutter, which is close to about 4.5 inches, 4 1/4, and I draped that over the mold, and then I put the sides together. So for size-wise, this the circle cutter was 4.5 for each half. The size of this star here, from if you were to put a ruler up from the bottom here to the tip of the star top, is 5 inches. Your next step is to cut out the centers of each star, and what I've done is I have these cutters that are lined up, that are one a little bit bigger than the other for each one. So the way that I chose the cutter is I just looked to see which one for the bottom one gives me about 1/8 of an inch clearance, or 1/4 inch if you go even. So you're going to do that. The next one would be this guy. And for variety, I use the other side of texture for this. So this one looks like it's about 1/4 inch from where it meets up. You can save those medallions and make some kind of hanging ornament for those if you like. And then it looks like there's about 1/2 inch clearance on these guys. So once you have these cut up, then you begin to layer. So when you layer them, you're going to offset. You just don't match the petals up like this. You're going to put them into, you're going to make them offset. And so now here comes this guy. Now this is fresh clay that I'm working with, so I'm not concerned really about using water to attach. I'm just going to let the pressure the next step do its magic. And then for my press, I'm going to use this top of this Pam cooking spray. For those that want to know, this is about a 2-inch press. I'm going to put that in the middle and then just press down. So that creates my lovely flower. And then you can just zhuzh the petals to see, you know, how far out you want them to go. And the other thing that you're going to take note of is the backside. Like, how big is the backside? And take a cutter and figure, like for me, I can see 1/4 of an inch all the way around from the backside. So I feel like this is a good match for this flower configuration. So what do I mean by that? So my next step would be to take this on here. Now when I did the sphere, I already tapped it down a little bit, so I created a flat bottom. What you could do is also put your own little foot on here if you want to snazz things up a bit. But now that I've determined that this is the right size, my next step is to mark this, cut it open, and then I have some options here. So once I open it up, I could then prep the sides, slip and score, and then score around here and then set that on. Or what I did with this guy here is, and it looks like this guy is a little bit more squatty, so maybe I need to bring this out a little bit more. The one thing that I did with this one is I didn't connect them. I just let this be. I fired it separately, and then I fired this separately with the top off, of course. And then when I glazed it, it's when I put them together. So I glued this. So that's it. Also, as I'm looking at this now, you know, you might want to consider proportion-wise. I think that probably I might have used a larger ball here than this. The other thing too is if you want to play around with the flower shapes and sizes, this looks like it would be a really cute votive holder. So that's another thing, another idea that you can do with this project. All right, that's it for now. Catch you next time. Thanks for watching.